Well, we just got the barns left. I told you guys I wanted to go to the barns and look at the horses, make sure I get the right horses in the barns. I decided when I was there I was going to scoot over quick and pick up the 2 Ontario bred yearlings that were coming from Bob. One is a Big Jim, the other one is an Up the Credit. These are the siblings of Trafalgar and Capistrano, and the big colt, who I assume would be Trafalgar's brother. Both are colts. He's a little dumb and he's strong. He inadvertently kicked me in the leg, and whoa, did it hurt. When you're going to pick up green babies, you're going to get kicked once in a while. So we got them in the trailer, got them back to the barn, moved some horses around. I walked through the shed rows and wanted to make sure I got all the barns done. So now we're going to Harry's barn. These barns are going to continue to change over the next month as we bring horses in, move horses around. You look at a barn like Jason's has 5 or 6 horses in it right now. One of them's leaving. Arctic Force is leaving. 5 horses in that barn. That'll have 20 easy in another month. So Jason's taking it easy right now. He's doing what he should. He's coming up and giving us a hand a little bit when he can. And he's got his own 2 babies there also that he's doing. So let's start at Jason's barn then. We'll start here. Arctic Force is back in the barn. He came in 2 days ago because he is leaving for Florida. Him and Really Blue Chip. They're going to leave at some point in the next couple of weeks. I really wouldn't bother me if they left tomorrow. There's lots of paddock time in Florida. Also, I told Doug that both of these horses needed some paddock time before they started back, which is fine with him. So whenever the truck shows up, the papers are ready, and those horses will be leaving. I know I'd said 2 or 3 weeks, but to be honest, wouldn't I rather them turned out on a nice sunny day with lots of grass in a paddock than a miserable day +3 and rain? Makes pretty much a no-brainer. The trucking's the same now as it is 3 weeks from now. So Arctic Force and Really Blue Chip will leave when they're ready to go. Now, it's a little different for the other ones. They're just finishing off their paddock time. Dio and Knockdown Dragout, they'll probably leave in the next 3 weeks or something, next month. Yeah, I would say a month. A month will set. Well, 3 weeks maybe for Knockdown Dragout. She was out a little bit longer, I believe, than Dio, or maybe a week or 2. So, and it's not like they're going to the same place. So it'll depend on when the trucks are going. Let's get to Jason's barn. All right, Arctic Force is back. He's now, we'll trim his feet up, put him out in the paddock until the trailer shows up. He won't be jogging at Tomiko. He's just on turnout. So the fees, and if you're an owner of Arctic Force, as I am, the fees won't change between the turnout and the farm. Our Vicka, problem we've had with our Vicka, you guys know this if you own any parts of our Vicka, getting her in on a regular basis, right? We opted to not race in Final Answers race, which was a complete boat race. She probably would have been first or second. Instead, we opted to wait for Flamborough, and Flamborough didn't fill. So it just seems like when we need to zig, we zag with this filly, and you know, it's good, it's keeping her fresh, but at the same time, it's not keeping our wallets fresh. So we're trying to get our Vicka on track. You know, I'd like to address the point too. Somebody said, a couple of our clients said they wanted to breed her. We're not breeding our Vicka right now. I know some people wanted to really desperately and badly, but at the end of the day, the vast, vast majority of our Vicka's ownership is made up of people that want to race our Vicka. And although I don't think I would shy away from necessarily breeding her, I would like a better mark on her. I would like a little more money on her card. And for the people that say it doesn't matter, you could potentially be right, but you may not be also. Her family's good, but it's not like she's loaded full of world champions. And, you know, if I had to take it back, the way they sold in Harrisburg, I guess we should have sent her to Harrisburg. I think we would have been paid all right. Nevertheless, it's not like she's racing terrible. She's been racing good. We just need her in on a regular basis. Elysium Lindy, speaking of horse that did race terrible, Elysium Lindy raced horrible his last start. A little bit of mucus, a little bit of red stuff in his throat. We got to clean him up and get him back on track. If he's going to continue to flounder, like he raced good when I drove him, that was in one of the bottom classes also. We bought this horse to be a much better horse than this, and if he's not going to be, we'll move him around somewhere else until we find a spot for him. I'll Play It Alone is back jogging now with Jason. Really happy with what I saw mentally at the end of the year. Physically, a little disappointing. He was much more effective when he was a runaway, but I can assure you that would have ended in sheer piggery. So I'm happy that I'll Play It Alone was at least intelligent enough to race wise at the end of it. He'll be back now. We'll have him ready to go in the winter in the non-winter classes at London. I'm certain he'll be fine in there. Johan hasn't begun training yet. I'll mention this quite a bit. I'm going to change the way I train Johan back, simply because we haven't had much luck with hind suspensory. A lot of them have re-injured, and maybe that's just because of the high rate of re-injury, but I want to believe that a couple of these horses should have been able to make it back and been a little more effective. We're going to train Johan back on the gallop. And you might say that sounds stupid, but we can get good work into his suspensory at the same time without the strenuous speed that comes with that with training trotters. So I could be wrong, but we're going to find out soon. We're going to train him some on the gallop, then we're going to re-ultrasound, keep a real good look on that. That leg looks great right now. I want to see it really fill in good before we get some real speed into this guy. And then Totally Tactor threw a clunker in last time. Not really his fault. We trained him hard, short up to the race, and then raced him back short 5 days. So really in 8 days he had 3 pretty fast miles. Just too much for this colt. He's just a big gangly colt. We gave him the week off. We'll race him next week at Mohawk or at one of the B tracks. Clearly he can get around the B tracks, no problem. So that's Jason's barn. We'll be back in a minute. We have Kevin's barn and Harry's barn. We already did the smaller barns. We will be done at that point. Be right back.